Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today we will be talking about Cosmic Fury Episode 1, finally.
And also, might not ask, we actually did the intro in one go this time around.
Woo!
One go.
That lets y'all know we are back officially.
Right? Officially back. So excited. I'm so glad to be here.
Okay.
We're on our second episode of the year. Like, we're doing it.
We are doing it. We are doing it. We are locking and loading and ready to go.
My God, before I let you continue. So recently, I forgot to mention this to you guys, but recently a friend of mine, was asking what I was doing, and I was like, hey, like, I'm just editing my my podcast. And he was like, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah, it's on all things Power Rangers, especially the actors that play them. Our intro. Literally
Love
how
it.
I tell everyone about our podcast. And he's like,
High key, I do that too.
Right? He's like, oh yeah, that's right. Did you remember this? I'm like, yeah, as you should, because it's only been on for like 5 years now? Like, come on.
Right.
Right. So I guess he didn't sleep that night, and he dived right into our episodes, and he was just like, man, he didn't really say too much in terms of the content, which is fine. I wasn't expecting him to, because he's not really his cup of tea. But he was like, I love the banter between you and Brandon. You guys are so fun. And then he's like, Will needs to speak up.
Oh. If he started from the beginning, then yes, Will was a little quiet at the beginning.
And I was like, I guess it depends on the episode. But he was like, it's from a month ago. So I'm like, I don't know which episode he's really talking about. Because, like a month ago could have been like, oh, because our like how YouTube does like the top 10 or the top whatever. So
that's right.
It could be pushed. And he probably just clicked on an episode that got pushed, right?
Right.
So I was like, yeah, he is. But, to be fair, like, he's gotten better, and trust me, the episodes he's passionate about something, he will go right off. So continue listening. So yes, that goes to you guys. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell everybody, and find us on wherever you're listening to this podcast episode. So yeah.
Facts. And that's linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid. Like Lena said, all of our links are there. It's everywhere you listen to podcasts. So, I mean, literally everywhere. Even podcast places that we've never even heard of has our podcast on it.
Yep.
So, you can listen to it. It is definitely available on literally almost every single podcast platform, even those that we don't necessarily support. So, so definitely go and listen, go and support. We are back. Please, please, please. We really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, before we talk about Cosmic Fury Episode 1, right? I want to go ahead and I want to preach to the people. Real fast. I ain't going to hold y'all long, like the preacher say on the pulpit on Sunday morning. I ain't going to hold y'all long.
First of all, gotta grab a seat, guys. Grab a seat, grab a snack, grab a drink.
Okay. Because it's some tea. It's some tea. So, tea time with Brandon. So, I just want to preach to the people. I ain't going to hold y'all up. I want to let y'all know, to all the fans out there that are out here buying and supporting prop makers, I want you to know you have the power, okay? You have the power, you have the control, because it's your money. Can I say that again? You have the power, because you are paying with your money. Do not let these prop makers bully you. Do not let these prop making companies make you feel like you have to just accept anything they give you or whatever have you. It is your money. If you hear of anything that is not, that doesn't sound good, that the reviews aren't too positive, whatever have you, I don't care how good that thing looks, you can always find somebody else that can do it just as good or whatever. There are plenty of prop makers in this fandom who are respectable, whose quality of work is fantastic, who will be very respectful to you, who will treat you right as a customer, and who won't give you no bullshit or no pushback. Trust me, I've dealt with them. Starlight Studios, mwah, chef's kiss. One of the best prop making companies out there. I got both of my communicators from them. So I'm telling you right now, they're out there. But also, there's some bad apples out there too. Listen, we're not about to be out here, dogging people out. I'm not about to, say who name it is. I'm not doing that. We ain't messy. We ain't gonna do that. But I'm telling y'all this because I want to empower you fans on basically protecting yourselves, but also letting you know that you have the power in your hands because it's your money. Make soundful decisions. So I say all that to say, so story time. Back last year in like mid-October, I was going to buy a certain item. First of all, I was talking to this prop maker in early October. And I wanted a certain item, but I wasn't sure if they were still in production. So we were talking back and forth, and I was like, hey, I really want this item, blah, 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 blah. Right. And, they were like, well, let me know when you're ready to order, because we've only made but so many. So I was like, all right, well, bet. Well, first of all, as I was like, listen, I was doing a whole bunch of traveling, and I had a whole lot of stuff to do. So I couldn't exactly, just buy something all willy-nilly right away, because I had to budget my money. So I was like, all right, well, I'll hit you up when I'm ready. So, he was like, okay, yes. Now, mind you, the person also stated that on the website, it was set up to be coming soon, but basically the item, like, they had a whole bunch of orders that were already made, because I ordered too late. The items were already made and were being able to be shipped out for the certain batch that was already out. So I was like, okay, well, I definitely want to go ahead and order. They were like, okay, cool. We can't make any promises, but we'll do what we can. They were like, they still may have like one or two available from the production line. It's like, all right, cool. And so I hit them up around October 16th, being like, hey, are they still available? Are you ready? They were like, well, the Morphers began shipping last week. So, we only have 2 sets that were left unspoken for. If you want to purchase, go ahead, and they'll probably go out within about 1 to 2 weeks before they're able to ship out my my Morpher, the one that I would like to order. So basically, they were like, if just in case, if you didn't want to If I didn't want to order it, then they were going to take it to the Ranger stop and go ahead and sell them there. So I told them, I was like, you know what? No, I want to go ahead and buy it. I want to go ahead and purchase. And they were like, cool. So they sent me the invoice via PayPal and was like, hey, this is what it is. Go ahead and pay for it. And I was like, all right, bet. So I paid for it. Now, mind you, like I said, that was October 16th. Remember that date. And remember, also, they said it would take up to, they would start the shipping process after 2 weeks. I said, okay, cool. Now, before I go on, allow me to say this. For any prop maker, any business, or anything like that, if you are trying to sell an item or whatever have you, please, for the love of all things good in the universe, let your customers know a time frame in which they should be receiving it. And also, when you do, hold your end of the deal. Be accountable. Be accountable. Moving right along. So, I paid for it. I didn't hear anything for that 2 weeks. Whatever. Time went on. So I said, you know what? Maybe they're busy. I know Ranger Stop just happened. Maybe they're trying to get their stuff together. It's cool. I decided to respond back by November 25th. It's like, hey, just checking up on the status of my shipment. So they gave me their whole spiel about, they're getting situated and they had some hiccups here and there, blah, 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 blah. Now, understandable. You didn't have to tell me that information. Did not need to know that information. But I say all of that to say, they went on in the conversation to ask for my address so that they can send the shipping label. Now, mind you, I already sent that information beforehand, but they asked for me to go ahead and send it again. I said, okay, cool. So, mind you, they asked me to go ahead and send that information, and also stated once again that sometime within next week or so, they should have an extracting number so that they can go ahead and give to me so that I can go ahead and, go ahead and check the status of my order in its delivery date. I was like, okay, cool. That was November 26th. Gave them all the information that they needed. Did not hear anything. Now, mind you, that's 2 times that they have given me a time frame in which I should hear something back. December 28th. I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead and give me my money back. It's fine. Like, I just don't want to wait anymore. And I'm just like, you're a business. I didn't think I would have that kind of experience with ordering something that was allegedly already done. It just needed to be shipped. So this person decided that they wanted to clap back at me. They got offended by what I said for whatever reason, got offended, and started basically telling me about their cancellation policy and how I won't be getting anything. I will only be getting back only half my money. And basically weaponizing the cancellation policy against me and my refund. Basically telling me that I'm trying to play games with them and I'm trying to bankrupt their business. And I'm just like, how in the hell can my little bit of money bankrupt your business? That doesn't make sense, but whatever. blaming me for for the downfall of their business and how, I'm I'm being impatient and yada 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 yada. Now, I would like to say that personally, I've dealt with plenty of businesses. Plenty. Actually, for many of you who don't know, I work at my 9 to 5 deals with money. So I deal with businesses all the time. One of the things that businesses consistently deal with and they all possess is number one, accountability. They all have specific guidelines and specific things that they adhere by, and they also expect customers to adhere by. Now, you can't start batting off at the mouth about how, oh, somebody is doing this, somebody is doing that, how dare they, how dare they, how dare they, and you haven't even established a certain time frame in which I should be even receiving this item. Number one, you've already said twice that you were going to send it. You never did. That already creates a negative mindset in the person who's supposed to be receiving said item. Because now it looks like you playing and you're not going to send it. I understand stuff happens. Stuff happens all the time. It happens. You're a business owner. However, at the same time, it is your responsibility to notify the customers and let them know, hey, I'm doing the best I can. Please bear with me. I completely understand. I know I said that this item was supposed to be sent to you at this time. I'm really sorry about that. Bear with me while we get ourselves together. Do not make lofty, ambitious time frames when you know you can't fulfill them. Plain and simple. That's number one. Number two, accountability. Take full accountability for your actions. And I'm going to jump on that in just a second. I'm going to revisit the accountability because apparently this person does not take accountability for anything they do. But take accountability for your actions. Plain and simple. And be impeccable. Be impeccable with your word. Your word is the most important thing as a business owner that you could possibly have. It's not about your talent. It's not about how much money you make. It is about your word. People are going to be definitely a lot more believing and a lot more trusting if your word matches your actions. If they don't match, people are going to have an issue with you. Point blank, period. And I was disrespected. I was threatened. Like the list goes on and on. Like this mug basically tried to read me for my rights in the DMs, like tried to go off on me. And so, logically so, I clap back because I'm like, you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. Well, this person decides to go ahead and let me know that, they're not sending me my money back. They're not sending me my full money back. They're only sending me half. And thought that I was a joke, basically. And basically were saying that they were going to ruin me and they're going to, do all these things and they're blah, 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 blah. I'm like, fine, whatever. I want to see you do it. Because the moment, just like I was telling Will Alina, the moment that you test me and that you push me, I'm like, I want to see how big your balls are. You have the balls that want to threaten me. I want to see if you're going to follow through. So I was like, let's do it. You don't want to give me my money back? Bet. I'll make sure I get my money. I contacted PayPal. And immediately PayPal was like, well, did you receive your item? I was like, no. So filed a claim. Obviously, this person received it. This person received the note from PayPal being like, hey, this person filed a claim for their money back. See if you can resolve it. Instead of this person trying to speak to me like a civilized human being, they decided they wanted to double down even more. First of all, lied to PayPal. I mean, just blatantly lied. Lied to PayPal. And basically were saying that, they were still creating said item and all this stuff like that. And all the money went towards, creating it and building the item and this, that, and the third. How is it that you told PayPal that the item needed to be built, needed to be created, and all the money went towards that, but yet and still you told me back in October that I was getting one of the ones that was already completed? So I should have already gotten this item a long time ago. I shouldn't have even had to wait. So you're lying to them, number one. You're lying to PayPal. Then you slide in my DMs again and tell me, I was going to give you all your money back, but now I'm definitely not giving you all your money back. I'm only going to give you half now for sure.
Excuse you, sir? You didn't. You made it clear you weren't going to.
Exactly. And I'm sitting here like, same thing Lena just said. I'm like, you definitely told me I was only getting half my money back. That's why I literally contacted PayPal, because you told me I was only getting my money back. I was only getting half my money back. That's what you told me. I would have never even contacted PayPal if you didn't say what you said. I would have never said that. I would have never even thought to contact them if I knew I was getting all my money back. I would have never done that. Well, so after that, I was like, basically, go ahead. What?
Sorry, I'm laughing because of how stupid the whole thing is. Like he's saying this and he's blatantly lying about that, and I'm just like, dude, like there's evidence that you said this. There's evidence. Like just because you delete on your end doesn't mean delete on both ends. Okay, this is not
exactly.
This is not like I don't know what other app does that, but this is not Snapchat.
Girl, he must have thought we were communicating through Snapchat. I'm pretty sure he thought that, because even if, like you said, even if he deleted his end on Instagram, I still have mine. Even if he was to block me, I still have my messages. So you can't sit here and deny that you said what you said. And plus, even if he tried to, I already screenshotted it from like day one when we had the conversation. Like the moment we had our first argument, I screenshotted those messages. So even if he tried to delete them, because what it would say at the very top, it would say deleted contact or something like that. So like they wouldn't show the name, I don't think. If he was to try to block me, it wouldn't show his name. But even then, even if he tried to do that, I still have it on my end. So, regardless, I protected myself immediately, which once again, fans, make sure you screenshot every single interaction you have with these people. Make sure you protect yourself. These are all tools and all things that you should do naturally, just so that you can protect yourself, just in case somebody tried to fuck you. But let's keep going. So then I'm like, dude, you capping. You lying. Like, point blank, I already in contact with PayPal. I'm not dealing with this. Screw you. And so I contacted PayPal again, because what he was going to try to do is he was going to try to basically do a back and forth with me. He was going to try to do a back and forth, a little argument, a little tit for tat. or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not playing these games. I'm not playing these games with you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to contact PayPal and just tell them to just go ahead and go with the claim, go with the dispute. He's not willing to compromise. And so I called back and I got this woman and I basically told her from the rooter to the tutor what was going on. And baby, I think that was a Black woman who I was talking to, because like she immediately understood where I was coming from. And she was like, wait a minute, you never got your stuff? I was like, no. And she was like, baby, yeah, no, no, And I was like, exactly, right? And she was like, no, they playing. It sounds like they playing with you. And I was like, see, exactly. And that's exactly what I thought. That's what I thought. Now, had he communicated with me and acted professional, like most business owners do, we would not be in this situation. But the moment that you immediately tried to attack me and attack my character and threaten me because I asked for a refund, now you sound sus. Now you sound crazy. Now you sound like a liar. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not no dummy. I'm not no fool. And I'm not anybody that you can think you can pull that kind of crap with. So, old girl understood that. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push this through. And you should be hearing back from PayPal within a week or so. And they should let you know if, the verdict of the case. I said, bet. So she also said that said prop maker had up until January 19th to respond. If they do not respond, you win. It's like, bet, let's do it. So January 19th comes. I'm at work, chilling, you know what I'm saying? Doing my thing. And all of a sudden, I get a little email. Blip, blip, blip. I mean, my phone didn't do that, but I got an email. And I check it, and it goes to say, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up because I need to read this for the people. It goes on to say, let me pull this. Wait, damn, we talk a lot. Child, where did I send this?
I mean, damn, Brandon, I'm a little jealous here.
I'm over here like, where the hell I sent that thing at? There we go. There it is. Case closed in your favor. We have reviewed the case you filed on January 1st, 2024, and have decided in your favor. We have issued a refund of said amount to you on January 19th. It may take up to 5 days for this refund to be reflected on your PayPal account or bank. If you paid using a credit or debit card, the money will be refunded to your card. Depending on your card issuer, it may take up to 30 days for the refund to appear on your card statement. All that to say, what Beyonce say? So, bitch, pay me. Ting-a-ling, ting-ting. Run me my money. Okay? Run me my money. First of all, if y'all didn't catch that reference, this is definitely Renaissance. Wonderful album. Check it out. Like, it's giving. But anyway, like, run me my money. Run me my money. Like, I'm getting all my coins. I'm getting the whole amount. I'm not getting half. I'm getting the whole amount back to my card. And yeah. So a little update on this person. They decided that they decided that they were going to go ahead and stop dealing with Power Rangers altogether. They're not dealing with the fans anymore, basically saying everything must go. We're tired of dealing with the fans, yada, 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 yada. And basically blaming everybody for their business failing, blaming con promoters, blaming the owners of the cons, blaming the Ranger fans, blaming the Ranger actors, blaming any and everybody under the sun, blaming just anybody that they felt had anything to do with the demise of their company. And basically also saying that, you know, going forward, they will not be dealing with Ranger fans anymore. We ruined it and we ruined them. And ever since they started making Power Ranger stuff, they've just always been in the red. They never actually were able to get to actually make a profit. So they're just completely done with us, right? But the one thing that I found very interesting about this post, this video that was made, the one thing I found very interesting about it is the fact that not one time did you take accountability for the stuff you did, for the stuff you said. Not one time. You did not take accountability for shit. I distinctly remember one of the things that you said in your long cuss out to me, basically, was I said, this is not how you run a business. And you told me that's exactly how you run a business. Baby, listen, I may not be a business owner, but I am a consumer of a lot of things. And I can tell you easily, working in customer service and also working for several multi-billion-dollar companies, I can tell you for sure, this is not how you run a business. I can listen. I do understand. I do also believe the customer is always right. That's bullshit because they're not. However, there still is a certain transaction that must happen between buyers and sellers. And thank goodness I had the ability to understand that I was being ripped off, and also know the proper way to deal with said things. So once again, I tell everybody all of this just to let y'all know. And if you've been listening all the way up until this point, congratulations. We're about to move on to the next topic. But also too, like I said, I want to empower every single Ranger fan out there. If you are buying anything from anybody, it doesn't have to be a prop maker, but I'm making this specifically about prop makers because that's what I dealt with. But if you're dealing with any prop makers, any company, whatever it is, make sure you do your research. Research who these people are. Look at the reviews. Don't just look at the product, because I made that mistake. I was like, "Ooh, I really like this item. I want to buy it. Like, this is freaking dope." But not realizing that, this person literally had a situation going on right when I was ordering that item. They had a situation going on. They had a whole beef with somebody, with a specific actor that I'm not going to name. They had a whole beef with an actor because they claimed that this actor screwed them over. And allegedly, from what I heard, that's not what happened. That actor did not screw them over. As a matter of fact, it was a misunderstanding. But they're going with the idea of, oh, this person screwed me over. So, had I did my research and asked questions, I would have known. I would have known not to even try to purchase anything from said person. So, it is what it is. So, like I said, make sure y'all, do your research before you buy. Buy from people who are respected in the fandom. And I'm trying to save y'all headache. I'm trying to save y'all headache. I'm trying to save y'all stress. I'm trying to save y'all from getting y'all money taken. Because some of these places, they have actual pay systems through their website. So if had I paid him through like an actual website that went straight to him, I probably only would have gotten my half my money back. And I would have been screwed. And then I probably would have had to file a civil case. You feel me? But I did it through PayPal. So PayPal have what they call
Thank
buyer's
God.
protection.
Thank God.
Exactly. PayPal has what's called buyer protection. So when shit like this happens, you don't have to worry about being gypped. So, like I said, just
Also,
word to the wise. Go for it.
on that topic, if you're ever unsure when it comes to buying anything online, anything, always ask about PayPal, if they have a PayPal or not. It may
Yes.
charge you a little bit more, because I know depending on how you send it, there's like a percentage, right? But honestly, it's worth it because everything through PayPal is legitimate.
Right.
So always ask, especially if you don't know, especially if you're like, Brandon's selling some stuff online. I want to buy some stuff from Brandon, but I don't know if he's legit or not. Don't ask for Venmo, Cash App, or e-transfer if you're in Canada. Hey, say, hey, do you have PayPal instead? I'd be more comfortable with PayPal. So, tip to y'all. PayPal.
Wonderful tip. That is a great tip, actually. Yes. PayPal. Because they have buyer's protection. They will protect you and you'll be good. Because if you think that this person is gonna do some bullshit, or if you're not sure of of who they are or anything like that, like Lena said, PayPal is the best way to go. Because that way they can't screw you. They can't. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get that out to the people for whoever is listening. I know there's plenty of fans out there who will probably benefit from this information. If you feel like, you feel like you're being strayed along, you feel like, I don't really too much care about how this person is conducting their business, and you're feeling like, I think I want my money back, especially if you paid through PayPal, get your coin. Get your coin back. Get your coin back. And if it fucks them over, too bad. Oh well. Oh well. Because at the end of the day.
But the thing is, you didn't fuck anybody over. No one, because the way I see is that the whole idea of the transaction is that you're supposed to get what you were promised. You did not get what you were promised in the time frame that was given to you. So therefore, at the end of the
absolutely.
day, it doesn't fuck them over. It was their fault. And I do not believe with the whole cancellation. I do not believe that. Especially if at the end of the day, customer service is everything. And now don't get me wrong, I'm not here to say customers are always right, okay? Hell to the no. But however, customer service is everything. Especially if you want to build a business, a brand, or anything, customer service is key. I'm not saying bow down to people, but you need to meet somebody halfway. You need to own up to the fact that you're in the wrong, even when you're not completely in the wrong. Even though if you don't think you're in the wrong, take ownership, apologize, reimburse if you have to, or like offer something else to make the customer a little bit happier. But for this said person to be like, no, no, and no, and then blame it on everybody but themselves, it's outrageous.
Outrageous.
So always protect yourself, guys. If you don't know, do your research. If you don't know how to do your research, find someone who may know how to do research. Make sure things are legitimate. Like, don't get cheated, guys. Don't
get cheated. And you know, to add to your point, you know, it's one of those things where it's so easy to get screwed and think that, you know, there's nothing that can be done. And just to go back for a second, when I said screw them over, that's what I was referring to is for them talking about they were almost going bankrupt. Them specifically talking about like I screwed them over. If you screw them over, you screw them over. Point blank, period. But technically, I didn't screw them over. Like you said, I didn't screw them over because I didn't get my product. And they didn't give me a time frame on when I should receive my product. So, you know, going back to what I was saying, you know, just like the lady at PayPal was saying, she's like, listen, if they promised you, hey, this thing was supposed to be done at this time, it was already done. What's keeping you from sending it? What's keeping you from sending said item? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you still did not honor your end of the bargain. So you can't blame your business going under because you suck as a business owner. Plain and simple. You can't blame anybody for you not holding your end of the bargain, for you not doing something as simple as saying, hey, this item is going to take this amount of time to get done. It's going to take this amount of time to be shipped. And then if it goes past that time, updating the customer, not having the customer come to you, updating the customer and saying, hey, really sorry, things aren't panning out the way we want. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and either comp you with something else on top of it, you know, to ease the blow of you waiting, or, you know what I'm saying? If you are comfortable, this item may take an additional certain amount of time. Is that something you're okay with? 9 times out of 10, I would have told you yes. And that's what I mean by talking to people like you got some sense. Because had he just went ahead and spoke to me like an adult instead of acting like a child, I would have easily said, cool, it's no problem. I can wait. Because all I'm going to do is hang it on my wall anyway. I'm not playing with it. It's just going to sit on my wall. So I'm literally sitting here like, I don't care. Just let me know when I'm going to get it. But the fact that he kept telling me a time frame and then the time frame passes and then I have to constantly reach out and say again, hey, I'm still waiting. We're not playing these games. Because I've known way too many times in this fandom, especially, people like to do things and you don't see the end result. No shade. I'm thinking about one specific Blue Ranger actor, but we ain't gonna go there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we know plenty of times where people have done things or people have asked for money and you didn't see the end result. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with y'all. Like, if I'm buying something or if I'm supporting something, I need to see the end result. If I don't see it, it is what it is. We gonna have issues. Plain and simple. So there you go. Like I said, I'm not dishing out whoever it is on the air. It is what it is. But, you know, please be careful out there, Ranger fans. It's a war path. It's a war out here. Because mugs are trying to take your money. They are trying to take your money.
Just make sure that before you spend money, just do your research because people will screw you over. So basically, reiterating what Brandon said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, please do y'all research because, you know, like I said, just because it's like the saying goes, everything that glitters ain't gold. You know, sometimes it's fool's gold, you know. Remember that episode of Zeo when Bulk and Skull was in that mine and they were looking for the gold and came across Prince Sprocket? And then ended up finding fool's gold in there thinking that they found real gold. Like, y'all almost risked y'all life, almost got killed by an alien, and y'all found fake gold. Like, you know, not everything that glitters ain't gold, y'all. Moving right along. Cosmic Fury episode 1. Woo! Finally. I know. Y'all have been waiting. Y'all have been waiting for us to talk about this show. So we're gonna go ahead and get right on into it. Now, first and foremost, Cosmic Fury is still, you know, we're piggybacking off of Dino Fury season 2. So, you know, for any of you who have not heard our review of Dino Fury, please go back, listen. We talked about the whole season and we had a good time talking about it. It was great. Wait, did we finish Dino Fury? I think we did,
Yes.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I'm like, did we finish?
Well, I mean, we did it. Well, well, new year, new season.
Right, because I'm like,
A long time ago.
okay, yeah. Because I remember us like talking mad shit about Ollie. I do remember that. I mean, there's more of that coming up. But I think we did finish. I think we did finish. Let's go with the fact that we did finish. So yes, we finished Dino Fury. Please go back and watch those episodes. Listen to those episodes. We gave some pretty interesting thoughts. And yeah, we're gonna go right into Cosmic Fury. So Cosmic Fury picks up right at Dino Fury season 2, where right at the very end, the Ghost Ranger Zato, basically pulls a Captain America and says Rangers assemble, and you know they went ahead and teleported off to go find Lord Zed, and we open up right at this first shot. First of all, can I just say this opening shot? No, before I even go there, Zordinia, that was a crazy throwback. For those of you who don't know, I mean, obviously, like, I mean, you know, y'all know by now, but Zordinia is a throwback. Zordinia. That sounds like I'm saying Edenia in Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry. Zordinia. What is it called? I said that shit again. I'm sorry.
Zordnia.
That is ugly. Why did I just go ahead and give us the Enya? Just give us the Enya. I mean, that sounds more like fishy anyway. Like, I love it. Like, if it sounds like somebody's drag name. Like, if the Zords were to be like have like a drag queen Zord or something, I want to be called Zordinia. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be cute. It's given. But y'all want to say Zordnia? That is so ugly. Who made it? No.
Damn.
You say what?
Damn, I can't believe. What was it again?
Zordnia.
Ew.
Right.
Oh my god.
Right. Zordinia? Really? Zordinia? Now, don't Zordinia sound better?
It does. We're gonna go with Zordinia in our episode.
Thank you. I win. Zordinia. High five. Woo! Okay.
I didn't even question it. Will's like, yeah, no, it's not the right one. I'm like, what?
First of all, Zordinia just sounds really hetero, and I hate it. So we're gonna go Zordinia because that sounds a lot more queer. So Zordinia, yes. That's where the original Shogun, aka Ancient Zords, for those Ranger fans who really know Ranger history, Ancient Zords, because that's what they were called originally before they became the Shogun Zords. That's where they were found back in season 3. Mm-hmm. Well, we are now revisiting this place again. Now, why in the devil would the Morphin Masters Like, now I'm gonna save that for a second. But moving right along. So basically, they're fighting, doing their thing or whatever. And no, I'm gonna go ahead and say it now because this is heavy on my heart. Why would the Morphin Masters send Lord Zed ass over to Zordnia? Because that's what I'm picking up. That didn't quite make sense to me. Like, why would y'all imprison his ass on Zordnia? Like that just didn't make sense to me. Like, y'all couldn't find any other place to lock it, to just put his ass somewhere. Y'all could have put his ass
Maybe
in a black hole. Like,
maybe they weren't thinking. They were just trying to get him as far away from Earth as they could. But it does suck that it would be a place where I guess historically Zords are.
Exactly. Like Zords that have a huge connection to the Morphin Grid. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, I will say that little piece right there, I'm like, okay, I get y'all trying to connect dots and y'all trying to do a little piece of but that just really kind of irritated me because I'm like, why is this man put on Zordnia where literally he already pretty much kind of has an idea about Zordnia anyway, because hello, season 3. So he would know about these ancient Zords, or at least that's where the Zords were. So if he were able to get out, he could easily go ahead and like find whatever Zords they are or whatever have you. So it's just like it just didn't make sense to me. Why would you do that? But anywho, moving right along. So they show this elaborate, beautiful, well shot fight scene. I'm not even gonna lie, that fight was badass. Like, kudos to everybody involved. That opening fight with the aerial, like the whole aerial thing, and you just see like everybody fighting all at one time, and they're covering like mass amounts of space, and it's just like, whoa, they ate that. Now, what I will say is, didn't it kind of look like, wasn't it giving kind of like boneless wings? Like, it was giving real boneless. Like, they didn't have that many stunt people that could like really feel the space out. Did you kind of get that?
Oh, like there weren't a lot of people?
Yeah. Did you kind
I
of feel
mean,
that way?
I guess. It didn't really bother me. I was just um I just liked all the scenery. I liked all of the far off shots.
Oh no,
The
that stuff was
Morphin Masters
beautiful.
flying around. Yeah, that didn't really bother me.
Yeah, that was cool. I will say that was really freaking cool. I enjoyed that. What I would have what I would have enjoyed a little more. This is just me being me nitpicking. What I would have enjoyed a little more is for them to at least like CGI in some of these Sentinels running. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like running through, or like, trying to green screen some other Sentinels in there to make them look like they're trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like something, or just some Sentinels just standing around, like holding their weapons or like bouncing up and down, like random characters in the background of a Street Fighter game. You know what I'm saying? Something. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of feel the space. Because to me, even though I love the scenery and I loved the whole thing of them, like, like flying through, and we're watching the Morphin Masters just kind of almost giving us a POV of like the Morphin Masters flying over them and blowing shit up while, the Rangers are fighting on the ground. Like, I loved all of that. Trust Emily loved it. They ate. But at the same time, I just wanted just a little bit more, just a couple more, Sentinels in there, just to kind of fill the space. It just kind of felt in some places a little too bare, and they just needed just a couple extra people in there. Just my thoughts.
I mean, it's if anything, they are keeping in Power Rangers tradition with being cheap and finding a way to make. Well, you don't think that it looks like a lot's going on, but whatever stunt people that they had, it looks like they just when they had close-up shots on people fighting, they probably just put a bunch of those extra stunties in the scene to make it look like it's a lot.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I mean, like, what I was even thinking they could have done was, I mean, I hate to bring this terrible throwback back, but Dimensions in Danger. Like, Dimensions in Danger literally had CGI'd versions of the same person over and over of the same Rangers, and they're all standing behind each other and look like this massive army. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like thousands of Rangers all in like all in one area. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is like wow. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of get like a whole gist of like, oh damn, like this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. Is like I would have enjoyed that because it's like, oh wow, that's freaking cool. Um, but just to have, you know, just to have it be kind of like sprinkle here, a little there, it just kind of felt a little bare in some spots, But overall, like I said, I love the scene. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. Um, and maybe it was happening so fast that they probably couldn't sprinkle in those extra CGI people in there. But like I said, it just felt really bare for what they were trying to do. It felt kind of bare in some spaces. But yeah, moving right along. So the Rangers are fighting random monsters from Kyuranger, and I find it so funny that basically Power Rangers was like, listen, well, Hasbro was like, listen, we gonna go ahead. We're not using much of y'all. We're not using y'all in the separate episodes. We can care less. Like, we ain't using them suits anyway, so there's no reason to use the footage. So let's take all these monster suits and just throw them in to just like just this random fight. And I thought it was genius. I liked actually seeing all of those random monsters fighting. Like I thought that was pretty dope. Um, and yeah, like all of them came from Kyuranger, with the exception of Bajillionaire and Squillionaire. What do y'all think about those two?
I mentioned when a while ago when this first came out, when I saw what's her name? Squillionaire, the kid Squillionaire?
Squillionaire, yeah.
Squillia. When I saw her, for some reason, I thought of Raven-Symoné.
She does kind of look like Raven-Symoné.
Yes, I remember this. You sent it.
Oh,
Sent it in our group chat.
yeah. Uh, she's annoying. She's like a young Gen Z with her live streaming everything that's happening, and I mean, I don't really care, honestly. I like I'm here for Zed.
Uh-oh.
But I will say, uh, Bajilia, she kind of is giving you a bit of foreshadowing. Um, I think of her like her actual her motive. She had mentioned how lucrative starting wars is. So that is she free she freed Zed, and she wanted him to start a war to make money because she's a CEO of a weapons company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think she doesn't really care about Zed, honestly, and she just wants war because she wants money. So I thought that was kind of I like that.
Here's my jush about Brazilianaire. First of all, going back to Squillionaire for a second, Squillionaire, I think is fucking hilarious. Like you said, she is so Gen Z, and I think that the writers had fun with her specifically because she parodied every single TikToker I think I've ever seen that's young. Like she literally embodied like all of them that from what I've seen. Like all of them kind of act like her. They're just like so out of it. And this is no shade to TikTokers. Like this is no shade. But like a lot of the young TikTokers do kind of act like her. And they're just like, oh my gosh, let's get this on camera. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness, girl, you are in the middle of a freaking war and you're worried about like getting it on camera. Like, it is the funniest thing to me. I thought it was hilarious. Like every moment that she was in this episode, I was just like literally just shaking my head and was just smiling because I'm like, I know her. Like I've seen her before. Brazilianaire, the thing that cracked me up about her was what she said. What she said was basically saying that Squid Ink came to mine the planet. They came to mine Zordinia, because I'm not saying Zordia. Um, they came to mine Zordinia and found Zed in the crystal, and it took 40 scientists to get him out, and they all paid for it with their lives. So basically, 40 people had to die to get to get Zed out that crystal. That is hilarious to me. It just shows you just how much she can care less. Like she is all about the money. She is like, how can I make a profit? I don't care if your life is on the line. I don't care. I just want what I want. And does she not sound like an actual real corporate person in real life?
Exactly.
Like she sounds just like corporate people in real life.
No, do you
And
know what? Do you know what she really sounds like? If I'm being so honest with you, she
true.
sounds like Kris Jenner. Do what
Oh,
it takes. If you need to make a sex tape, go for it, girl. If you need to, like, I don't know,
Oh my
do what
gosh.
you need to do.
Girl. Not Kris Jenner. Oh my gosh.
Kris Jenner.
But I see it. I
You
kind of
know,
see
it's
it.
Kris Jenner. That's what it's giving. It
Even
is
the pantsuit. Even the
right.
pantsuit.
I'm right. That's what I'm saying. It's giving Kris Jenner. Like, I'm
Oh no.
like, like you know her. Like, I will say this about Kris Jenner. She is an amazing businesswoman. She knows how to do things, how to time things, and like, you know
She
what?
does.
We could all thrive to be more like her. But yeah, she's giving Kris Jenner, not corporate. Corporate can't even handle Kris Jenner, in my personal opinion.
No, for real. And she knows how to market things. That's
Oh,
another thing about Brazilianaire too. She knows how to market stuff and she knows how to position it very well so that she can get people to watch. Like that is yeah, you're right. Brazilianaire is Kris Jenner. She's modeled after Kris Jenner. Thank you. Yes.
yeah,
Tribunal of the Grid has coined this.
right.
And
And,
yeah,
and the daughter, she she is giving every single Gen Z out there. She's giving freaking Addison Rae. She's giving Charles DeMille. She's giving like the Hype House. She's literally giving everything embodied in this. And I'm
yes.
so with you guys there. But
Oh yes.
like, but something else on the tip of my finger can't. But anyways, yeah, she's giving everything, and she's so relatable in terms of Gen Z. Is ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Like
why I'm like, I just thought that her character was just so spot on.
the only thing she had to do was say the word eight and start mothering people.
Oh, girl, she did give us a little yes, king. She
Oh,
did give us that. She did give us that. And I was like, I kind of face palmed. I face palmed. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I was like, someone queer wrote that line. I know you did. I know you wrote that. I
Like
know someone queer wrote that line. I just know it. I was like, what gay man wrote this? I know you did. I know you did. You don't even have to tell me. I know a gay man wrote that, because I'm like, yes, king. Yeah, a gay man wrote that. Absolutely. I'm calling it. Somebody gay wrote it. But yes. I just absolutely love them. But the one line that really stuck out to me was when she was basically saying that, when she was explaining to Zed, Brazilianaire, was explaining to Zed about her whole scheme. She literally says she wants to drive up profit sky high by waging an intergalactic war just so that she can make money. Oh my goodness, if that does
That's
not sound like what's happening literally in the world right
exactly,
now.
exactly. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, watching Cosmic Fury feels
Isn't it
weird.
isn't it giving like kind of like the Simpson predicting the future kind of vibe?
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
like,
I'm literally watching Cosmic Fury. Like, I don't know if I can watch this and listen to this line the same, because
yeah,
I'm like, this is literally what's happening in real life right now. Like, Power
I
Rangers literally predicted the future.
I think what's even more crazy is that this season, like this entire season, has I honestly in a long freaking time has probably been the most amazing, the most well written, and the most well planned, and just like laid out, and just really like deeper on levels that like we never gotten to before, you know?
Oh
And
yeah.
man, oh man, like wow, that's all I can say. Like it's setting up for so much more. It's ridiculous how much it's setting up for.
Oh yeah.
Now, like I will say this. You know how like everyone's all like, oh, quote unquote, Power just officially is so called over. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that is gonna be the biggest lie ever. I feel like they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back stronger. They're gonna give us more weird, like if they give us Black Mirror vibes, I swear I'm all down for it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, like this is coming from literally the guy who created, like, what is it, End of the Fucking World or whatever that show is called. Like, his stuff is normally extremely dark anyway. Like, he has more of that dark teenage humor anyway kind of feel. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, our quote unquote more aged up Power Rangers have a lot more feels like Cosmic Fury has.
Oh, for
In
sure.
terms of like kind of like resembling what's happening in real life, like,
Oh, for sure.
picking off real world things. Because I would have never thought in a million years that I'd be listening to that line and going, "Oh my God, that's happening like literally right now." Like, I would not literally sit here and be like, "Wait a minute, that's literally what's happening in real life right now." Like, that this is crazy. Like, this is insane. So yeah, like, I just want that was like one of the main things when I rewatched this episode. I was like, I have to talk about this, because I'm like, this is what smart writing looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, most Power Ranger seasons constantly always try to give us a little piece of, I'm just here to take over the world and destroy the Power Rangers. Blah. But they never actually had like a motive like this.
Mhm.
Brazilianaire was like, I'm just in it to make money. That's it. Like, I'm in it to be Kris Jenner.
And you know what? And you know what? That's so much more relatable because you taking over the world. What world are you taking over if you're destroying everything that's in it to begin with? Like,
Very
what?
good point.
What?
Very good point.
You know, I'm just saying, right? And also, Brendan, you sound more like Zordon than like evil.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Damn, wrong voice. I was
When you were doing it, I was like,
trying to take over the world.
absolutely not Zordon.
But no, like, and just to y'all point though, like most of the villains that we've had, they're like, oh, we're gonna take over the world, we're gonna take over the world. Bitch, you're only attacking Angel Grove. Angel Grove is one city in the world. Like, you're not going to Paris. You're not attacking freaking London. You're not attacking New York City. You're attacking one place and talking about, oh, I'm going to take over the world. What? You are some of the lamest villains ever.
Well, I mean, Brendan, to be fair, which is why Lord Dragon had to step in, because Lord Dragon is like, y'all, take over the world, actually.
Like, actually, the whole world.
Right? So, you know, I'm just saying, thank goodness for Lord Dragon to show the way, to pave the way on how to actually take over the world.
Well, I mean, that kind of, you know, I mean,
Well,
we're not actually giving kudos to a freaking massive
We're
killer,
not,
but
however, we did see how it ended. Nobody was there to take over. Everything just turned into a black hole. So
this is, well, I mean, according to Dino Charge, everybody got sucked into a black hole, so there was no reason to take over the world.
So true.
According to them. But, you know, it's just like, wow, like we've never had villains that actually, like, they had a very specific purpose. Like, they had a very specific mindset and very specific in what they wanted to do. And I just thought that was genius. So kudos to Brazilianaire and Squilia. Like, I'm like, yes, give us more villains like them, because they're more fascinating. Having a villain that actually has a motive, like a clear-cut motive, something that everybody can relate to, is so important. It's so important. Though that's how great villains are made. Like, you can't have a villain that's just out here being like, I guess I'll, you know, take over the world today. No, like, actually give them a purpose. That's why I'm like, even though I did not like Wild Force, freaking Master Orc was very specific in the reason why he was doing what he was doing. He was mad because the woman he loved, seemingly, according to him, was taken, when in actuality he just didn't make the move and he got sidelined by somebody. But that's not the point. The point is, like, jealousy drove him to do what he's doing, which we can all identify with. Ransik hated humans, which sounds a lot like, you know, he had a motive that a lot of people can agree with. Because, hey, we all hate rich people. Like, we all just like rich people because they don't pay taxes. So it's like, he was extremely specific. Like, he did not like normal people because normal people made him into an outcast. And they shunned him. So automatically he was like, screw you normal looking people. I'm going to fuck y'all up and I'm going back in time to do it. Like, genius. Like, these are people who literally, they have motives that we can all understand. May not agree with their tactics, but we understand where they're coming from. Just having the blanket, I'm going to take over the world, is not enough. It's not interesting.
You so need to stop the Zordon voice.
I'm so sorry. That's the only voice I got tonight. I'm so sorry. That's the only one I got.
Every time you do the Zordon voice, I'm like, you mean Zordon's not taking over the world? He's trying to save the world.
Listen, well, I mean, he's dead. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, he's officially dead. We don't know that for sure.
Well, I mean, according to this show, I mean, he's out there somewhere just floating around, but we'll get there at some point.
Well, that's
Um,
why Billy's back, right?
right, we'll get there at some point.
Billy's back, or what's the song? Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? but but yeah, so of course they're fighting, and Zed is like, let me join the fight. And oh, by the way, randomly, Billy is on this planet too. We don't know why. He's investigating some sort of energy signature, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna investigate it. Unknowingly, it's Lord Zed. So Ollie sees Billy and he's like, oh, it's Billy, the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. I'm gonna go say hi. First of all, this is not a job interview. You're in the middle of a fight. What the fuck are you doing, Ollie? What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing?
Obviously introducing himself, Brandon. Like, hello.
Like, why are you brown nosing in the middle of a fight? Like, my guy. Like, can you wait?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He was excited.
Sideline. I kept using the word brown nosing, and everyone in my circle has no idea what just the word brown nosing means.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, at one point, my sister's like, you keep saying that term? And I'm like, no idea what you're saying. And I'm like, what do you mean? This term is self-explanatory.
Right. Like, you're brown nosing, you're kissing ass. Like,
that's what I said. I'm like, you're sticking your face so far up their ass that is brown.
Yeah.
I don't understand how to, like,
how did I not know that? Oh my god. Right?
I was shocked. So anyway, sorry, back to the show. But yes, Ollie needs to stop brown nosing. Like, period.
Like, he's brown nosing, and I'm just like, dude, you're in the middle of a fight. Shut up. And of course,
to be fair, I would probably do the same thing. Especially thinking about it. Think about it for a whole second. You get to officially meet, like, legit meet your idol in the middle of a fight. That is freaking badass.
No. Like, if I were a ranger and I was literally in the middle of a fight and I see Tanya come rolling up here, giving her
Shut up.
I would not do anything. I would continue fighting.
I do not believe you.
I totally would. Like, I would keep fighting because I'm in the middle. I'm getting shot at. I'm getting swung at. I ain't got time to talk to you, but I'll talk to you in a bit.
God. Oh my god! No, I don't believe you.
Listen. I would do it. I would keep fighting. That's just me. I think I would. I would. But hey, like, you're right. I might be like, you know what? Screw this. Hey, girl. But me personally, I think that I would keep fighting. I think I would.
Logically, yes, you should keep fighting. But who knows, right? Who knows?
Right.
Something we may never find out. And hopefully we won't ever find out, because that is a weird situation to be in.
So, right. Like, just be like, hey, I see somebody that I know fighting. Like, hey,
right?
Like, that's kind of weird. But of course, they're fighting. They're having this little conversation. He's introducing himself. Meanwhile, Amelia is talking to oh Lord, what's the child name is? Mick. There we go. I'm like, child. Nah, I forgot Mick name. Mick Canick. First of all, why is Mick even there? Like, I'm like, okay.
It's only.
We just needed Mick. And I'm like, okay, all right, we got Mick. I just feel like Mick is just such a... Listen, I understand, like, Mick is one of their favorite characters, and that's why they wanted to throw him in. I get it. But also at the same time, Mick is just such a useless character to me. Like, he just doesn't provide anything other than exposition. Like that's all he gives to me. Like, he just doesn't... Like, the only purpose for Mick is for exposition. That's it. Like, he's for exposition and an extra body. That is it. Other than that, like, he doesn't really provide anything else. And every time I see Mick pop up, and this is nothing against Kelson Henderson, because I love Kelson Henderson. I love him down. But every time I see Mick, I always get mad on the inside. Like he really boils my spirit when I see him because it's just like you don't serve a purpose. And maybe I'm just jaded because of Ninja Steel. I think that might be what it is because Ninja Steel is such a crappy season. I'm just like, ugh, like you're such a great character, but you were in a terrible season. And I'm just like, every time I see you, you just, you make my stomach turn. It just, feels like a knife just gutting me. It's like, take that, take that, take that. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because that's very resemblance of a certain person. But like, it's just like, like it just gets me. I'm like, damn it. But you know, he pops in, and once again, Amelia has a whole moment where she goes over everything that happens at the end of Dino Fury season 2.
Right.
And I'm just like, once again, he's only there for exposition.
They could have gave us a recap at the beginning before that.
Absolutely. But they're just like, you know what? Nope, we're gonna use Mick for exposition because that's the only thing he's good for. And sure enough, exposition. So then of course they're still fighting. Lord Zed joins the fight, and you know, Billy and Lord Zed share some banter before basically Lord Zed shoots him. Lord Zed really did shoot the fuck out of Billy. But anyway,
real quick, I love that they acknowledged each other because they are 30-year rivals.
30-year rivals.
I honestly would have liked if he would have mentioned Trini. Oh, I heard your friend Trini got it or something. I don't know. Be savage like
damn, ouch. Like that's mean. Damn.
So is that.
I heard your friend bought the farm, didn't she? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, damn.
But I guess it's a really it's so confusing, like who or what version of Zed this is, and I think it got even more confusing with the last episode of this season.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So like, yeah. So I don't. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. I don't know.
I mean, allegedly, like this Zed in Cosmic Fury knows everything at this point. So, like the Dino Fury Zed was Zed at the beginning of season 2. Cosmic Fury Zed, for whatever reason, he evolved to know everything that happened post, like I guess season 3. So like he knows basically everything at this point. Okay. So I don't know how he gained all this knowledge, but there we go. But yeah, so yeah, if they did want to be, you know, spiteful and made a comment about Trini, they could have. But also, I think that because this is the kids show and Once and Always was more for adults, I don't think they were able to make that joke. We'll make that that comment.
They did talk about they used the word die in this, which I didn't even realize. But yeah. Well,
yeah. I mean, but then like remember though, Once and Always, like Rita was taking shots left and right. You feel me? Like Rita was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, men. Just like I got your mother. Like, I mean, she was just like, she was going for the jugular a little too hard. You feel me? And I think that Zed is a little, you know, he's a little less that, you know, because this is Cosmic Fury is more of the kids. Like, you know, think about the children. Damn it. You know, but that's kind of, I think, the reason why they didn't make that comment. But yeah, I mean, it would have been kind of fun to do that, to kind of like, you know, squeeze that in there, but I think that's probably the reason. But yeah, so they're fighting and Zed calls forth a new general. That general skeets on the Rangers, and apparently I mean, he just blows his load all over the Rangers, and apparently his load can make people evil. And Izzy is like, yeah, you can't turn us evil. We're still good. And Zed is like, well, no shit, Sherlock. This skeet skeet is for people who are already once evil. And then Ollie turns around and he's like, I'm evil again. They were like, Ollie, you've been evil. We know this already. And then he creates a portal, and poor Zato, he just got there and he is shot right into that portal.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of like the first example of the work that they did on the Zato and Ion relationship for this whole season, because Ion is so just shook by what happens to Zato.
Oh, he was hurt. Like, I mean, he literally just got out his mouth. I'm really happy to see you. I got a business now, right? I opened up a cafe. Like he is so excited about his friend just to find out his friend gets shot right through a portal and loses him again. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Ion is going through the ringer. Like, they are really trying to put my black brother through hell. And I'm like, why y'all doing this to him? Like, y'all are really trying to put this man through hell. Because it's just like, damn, like, literally, he just could not catch a break. Like, he just got his friend back. Like, and then 2 minutes later, he loses him again. Like, damn, that's fucked up. So, of course, he's lamenting over the fact that, he lost his friend again. And Bajillionaire is like, Scrozzle, she summons Scrozzle. Scrozzle comes with this device, and they are basically capturing Morphin Masters. And of course, they're picking them off one by one. And before the red one can get captured, he tosses his staff over to the Black Ranger. Now, one thing about this scene that really pisses me off, you mean to tell me these mugs can't dodge that damn blast? Why the hell didn't one of them Morphin Masters just shoot the damn machine? Like, right. Shoot the fuck! Like, literally, I remember watching this episode for the first time, and I'm like, shoot the fucking machine! Shoot the machine! Like, I'm literally screaming at the TV because I'm like, this is so stupid. Shoot the machine! What are you doing? Shoot it! Like, I mean, they're literally just like getting shot by the blast. Like, they're just like, oh, I'm flying. Oh, I'm shot. Oh no! Like, shoot it! Like, it's just the most stupidest thing I ever seen. But Red, he's sitting there dodging it. And I'm like, why are you dodging it? Shoot it. Why are you dodging it? Just shoot the damn thing. But of course, he gets shot. And before he could get zapped in, he tosses the staff to Black. Black Ranger has a premonition like Phoebe from Charmed. And he sees the freaking, I guess this freaking altar, the altar of Zornia. So he's like in his head, you know where to go. You know what to do. And I'm just like, oh, y'all telepathic now? Like, since when? Like, what the fuck? But he's just like telling him where to go. So the funny thing about that scene, though, I will say, when Bajillionaire was like, unless you capture all of these Morphin Masters, you're not going to get paid. And Scrozzle was like, but rents do. I promise you, I cackled. I'm not going to lie. I literally screamed.
Honestly, like, everything that they're saying in this season is just so relatable.
It's so relatable. She's like, if you don't get all those Morphin Masters, I'm not paying you. But rents do. Like, I screamed.
I mean, facts. We gotta collect those coins because those rent be due every month.
Pay me my money.
I wonder how much it pays to be a villain.
No, for real. Apparently, it must pay well because I mean, Bajillionaire is a whole Bajillionaire, so it must pay well.
Well, I mean, or not, because remember, she's a bajillionaire, right? So we all know rich people don't like to give up more money than they need to.
I mean, well, that's why, but that's why, because they want to hoard all the money for themselves. They got so much
Right.
of it, they don't want to give it up.
That's why renters
So
do because the boy has no money.
he has no money. It's like, listen, I'm working paycheck to paycheck. Cut me my coins. Like, shoot.
I
This
feel
little alternate dimension ain't cheap that I live in from
right.
Beast Morphers. Shoot, this little alternate dimension ain't cheap. Rent due. But child, he goes ahead, and so Lord Zed, basically the Rangers figure out, oh, this altar of Zordania is somewhere else on the planet, and they teleport away. Lord Zed is upset, and he's like, listen, I need you to be on top of this. Virginia is like, I got this. Like, I can just go ahead and have a squid drill come on down and blow their asses in smithereens. It's all good. Don't worry about it. So, of course, the Rangers the find the altar, and they were just like, let's just go ahead and push that staff in and get our Zords. And Billy is like, no, we just saw lightning strike that hole and it absorbed the energy. So we don't know what that energy output is looking like. So we ain't trying to have y'all die. But then Ollie comes up in a squid drill and he's like, I'm about to blast you hoes to the moon. And they're like, and listen, Javi is like, I'm not having that. Let me just go ahead and get these Zords. Javi runs his ass over to the altar, stabs the damn thing with the staff, and the unthinkable happens. He loses his arm. One thing about that scene that a lot of people got upset about with this scene, right? They thought that it should have been a little more intense. What do y'all think?
I
That's
sorry. I think that is a kids' TV show, and that that was the right amount of intensity, in my personal opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
That that was what I thought initially, but I remember somebody said that if something like that happened, you wouldn't necessarily be like freaking out. You be in shock. So
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
just mm,
it depends. I feel like it depends on the reaction of people. It could be a bit of both because I can say this from experience. I remember when I dislocated my hip. I I was I did obviously I didn't know it happened, but I knew something was wrong, right? And I remember being like, my leg hurts, and freaking out about the fact that my leg hurts and I can't bend it, it hurts, and just
mm,
really freaking out about it, and then yeah, I wasn't even shocked. I think I was more in shock once I got to the hospital, but I remember I was freaking out at that moment in time as to why I couldn't move my leg.
mm,
So I think it really depends on the person and depends on their reaction. It's not always necessarily true. And we really don't know how we're gonna react until we're put in that position anyway. So some of us can react right away, some of us can just be in shock and not react at all.
mm.
So it
Yeah.
really depends. That's
You know, I agree with that. I agree 100%. I actually agree with both of you. I think that for one, like you said initially, Lena, it's a kid show. Like, you know, all out like out the gate, expecting this freaking oh my god,
That would have scared some kids.
like expecting that kind of reaction from this show is like what the fuck? Like no, automatically that's no that no that's just not happening. um you know that's number one. Number two, I think that the reactions that they did have, the only thing that I would probably say that was a little kind of off-putting, if you will, and this might be only because of the way that they probably shot the scene, when like right after it happens and Mick teleports away with Javi, Amelia looks like she's kind of cheesing before she does the morph call. When she's like standing there with the other three rangers, and she's like, "It's time," and like she kind of looks like she's smiling. I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of look like she's happy as fuck. So I'm like, that's kind of cruel to do. Like, if you think about it in the scene, it looks like she's happy as fuck that Javi lost his arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it did kind of look like that. So
well,
I can see that.
something else with that. When Javi is going to leave the scene to go and get tended to, you would have thought that his sister would have went with him, but
Mm-hmm.
then she goes on. She's got business to take care of, but she's like later punning and stuff in the Zords. So it's kind of like,
Right. And that too. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, granted, I will say, like, they have to keep certain things going, have to keep momentum on certain things and stuff like that. So I do kind of understand certain choices that were made. But yeah, it's just
and
certain things that
technically,
I was just like, yeah, y'all could have been a little more serious than that. Just a
yeah, and
little.
technically they didn't need her there since we
They
found
did
out
it.
that the Zords are what, semi-autonomous. So three people could have gotten three Zords, and the rest would have been able to fight. The rest of the Zords would have been able to fight, and
Exactly.
yeah, so
Exactly. So I mean, yeah, that's a great point. I mean, because to me, I'm not gonna hold you. I agree with that 100%. She should have went with her brother. Absolutely. Like, if I were to rewrite that scene, I most certainly would have had her go with her brother. Because it's like, yo, like, my brother just lost his arm and he's going into shock. I am going with my brother. Fuck what's happening right now. I don't give a shit. I'm going with my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we all know that the Garcia siblings are extremely close. So it's
yeah,
like, for her to be like, I think I'm gonna stay and fight. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't quite believe that. I don't quite believe that, especially with their relationship and the relationship that they have. I don't believe that. I think for sure she would have went. She would have. If I will say this, she would, if anything, she would have been like, I want to go with my brother and I had to have Mick be like, you know what, stay and help the Rangers, and have them go back and forth for a quick second, where she's like, no, I want to help my brother, and he's like, no, 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 you need to stay and fight. Focus on what's going on. You stay and fight. I'll handle this. And she's like, okay, cool. I'll go. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least give us some sort of push and pull, because this is serious. Like, he literally just lost his fucking arm. You feel me? Like, that shit is disintegrated. It is gone. Okay? It is completely gone from his body. Like, there's not even enough. It's just gone. Like, that thing is gone. So, yeah, like, I'm sorry. I most certainly would have been like, I'm gonna go with my brother because he's going into shock, and I'm afraid he might die. So I'm gonna go help him. And it's just kind of like, oh no, I guess I'll stay and fight. So yeah, I agree with that. Um, but yeah, so that scene could have been tweaked minorly. But the way it was delivered, I don't have an issue with. To be truthfully honest, I don't have an issue with the way it was delivered. Like I said, the only issue that I really actually had was when Amelia did It's Morphin Time. Homegirl was cheesing. Like, she was like, I finally get to say it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was a little too happy. But other than that, I was like, I didn't have an issue with it. And then, of course, the Rangers go ahead and they jump into the new Zords. Now, I do find this scene really funny because, of course, they did not enlarge the freaking models. So the Zords are flying around this gigantic person in this suit like little toys. I'm like, when the Zords combine, they're going to be the same size as this person. Why are these things looking like little figurines flying around? Like, I thought that was so funny. I'm just like, y'all couldn't enlarge them just a little bit? Like, they just like little toys. So I thought that part was funny. But and then of course Ollie makes a joke. He's like, when the Rangers do combine their Zords, he's like, a Megazord made of Christmas globes. I'm
Right,
like,
that's
yeah,
funny.
they are. They are. They're Christmas globes. I kind of chuckled. I was like, yeah, you got a good one. You got a good one, Ollie. I'll give you that. And also, one thing about Evil Ollie, I will say, Evil Ollie does not give really all that evil. Like, Ollie, when he's good, is actually more evil than when he's actually evil. Do you notice that?
That's funny.
Like when Ollie is good, he is such an asshole. Like he's so fucking evil when he's good, but when he's evil, he's not that bad. Like I'm just like I actually like Evil Ollie. Evil Ollie is more palatable than Good Ollie. Like Good Ollie is a whole asshole, and I can't stand him.
I agree with you. I I don't know. I really did like him a lot better when he was so-called evil.
Yeah,
Less
yeah.
annoying. Less annoying for sure.
Way less annoying. I was like, oh my goodness, like
At least he
Evil
didn't brown
Ollie.
nose Bajilia and whatever
Well,
faces are.
right, right. Because I mean, he definitely didn't give all of that to them, but when it came down to him being good, it's just like, oh my gosh, not only are you an asshole, you're a kiss ass too. Like, damn, there's a whole lot of ass all the way around. But Ollie goes ahead.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
what?
that. I'm just laughing.
Oh, I mean, listen, some of those Rangers, child, got a whole lot of ass, but we ain't gonna go there. Anyway, so the Rangers are fighting against Ollie and his squid drill Megazord mode, whatever you want to call that thing. And they've combined, which honestly, we all talked about Q Ranger before. We know what it's given. But just for shits and giggles, what do y'all think about this Megazord?
I don't like it. I don't care for the Megazord. It is hideous. It literally looks like a bunch of snow globe. Exactly like what someone said on the show.
Um,
I every time they put it together, I cringe a little because I just don't understand. I don't understand how we got here.
I've seen better looking Megazords before. Like it's. I appreciate the thought.
Ooh, not the
What
thought.
thought? There was no thought. Okay, there was
Well, like
absolutely no thought.
all the different animals was kind of cool.
Well, the animals did not appear on the store. Okay, all I saw was snow globes.
It had a cobra foot that turned into a cobra hand.
Yeah, yeah, they
I
did.
mean, I suppose. I mean, I guess.
And
I-
there's one that has wings.
You remember more than I did because the whole thing was so not memorable. I just remember snow globes stacked on top of each other.
I like that anybody can pilot any Zord. And I
Yes,
like
I
that
did like that.
I like that
Yes.
too. I did like
and I,
that.
and I like that you don't have to have the entire team to pilot them.
Yes.
You know.
But the rest is a no-go.
I will say the design of these Zords are not that great. Like, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, somebody might go back and say, Brandon, you are changing your tune. You are pushing the goalposts.
Yeah,
Listen,
you are.
ha! Shut the fuck up. Anyway, here is what I'll say, right?
Uh-huh.
They're great for their time.
Are they?
They
For
were.
their time, how old
When
is
you think
it?
this show came out and like, oh my gosh, let's do some research, shall we? Q Ranger. Because I'm gonna tell you, Q Ranger is actually pretty old. Q Ranger came out in 2017. So back in 2017, right around that time, like that was during the time of Zyuohger. That was during the time Zyuohger was the building block Zords. That was during the time of um Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, which those Zords were also trash. So like for that time, Q Ranger did have some decent looking Zords for that time. So if I were to say from that block of Sentai seasons that were coming out at that time, and if we were to adapt any of them, I would have definitely said go to Q Ranger. Only because of the fact that they're the most familiar in terms of Zords and also their theme, but also their Zords just look like actual Zords versus the other seasons. Because, like I said, Zyuohger were building blocks that literally turned into Minecraft Zords. So they look real jank. Then with Lupin versus Pat, like those Zords also look ugly as hell. So it was just given like in terms of adaptability, not so great. But Q Ranger had the more standard looking Zords that were giving more Power Rangery more than any other season. So that's why I was like, in terms of, yeah, they look decent. They look decent enough to be in Power Rangers. They look decent enough to be here. But in terms of just like the Zord mode themselves and just the design, like, seen better. Like you said, Will, like we've seen better. But also too, those Zords were actually supposed to be the Zords that Bandai America created, Bandai America and Plex created specifically for Power Rangers to use. Because they were supposed to be very American-esque. That's why like the Zords look the way they do with all the gray mechanical parts to them and stuff like that, and like the interchangeability and stuff like that. Because it seemed like they were definitely pushing that towards Power Rangers and not so much of, oh, this is just something for Japan. Because if you look at Sentai now, there's no way in hell that Power Rangers would touch it. Like, it's just so off the wall and weird looking now. It's like, what the fuck are we even looking at? Like, I think the only season that if they were to actually like want to turn it into Power Rangers, it would probably be King Ultra at this point. But maybe King Ultra, maybe Dawn Brothers. But the rest of these seasons, like Power Rangers wouldn't even touch these seasons because they're so far out and they're just so like they're so weird looking. Like I highly doubt Hasbro won't even touch them. So but then again, who knows, right? Who knows what the future holds? But that's just my opinion based off of what we've seen. Like Super Sentai went so far in a different direction now that it's just like they wouldn't even dare touch it. But all of that to say, with the Q Ranger Zords, the Cosmic Fury Zords, they're they are a little tacky. They are. They are a little tacky. But the interchangeable parts I thought was okay. I thought they were okay. But moving right along. So Amelia goes ahead. She's like, well, we need to go save Ollie. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into their Zord. And Billy is like, it's fine, I'll remote access it. Amelia goes in. She's like, hey Ollie, you're not evil. Come on over here.
I'm laughing because like it was kind of giving the whole like Kimberly and Tommy, without the screaming, of course, but it's constant like we need to save Ollie. We gotta get Ollie back. Like we need to get Ollie. Like, okay, god damn it, we get it. You want Ollie back.
I'm not gonna hold you. It's giving Kimberly and Tommy, girl. I'm not gonna hold you. It was giving Kat and Tommy for me because I'm sorry. All I heard was King for a Day with with Kat when Tommy was supposed to be evil as Zero Ranger 5, and Kat was just like, "Come with us," and she like lowers the blaster as he has it pointed in her face. I was like, oh my god, why is he pointing that blaster at her like that? Like he literally was like, "Girl, I will blow your head off." And she's like, lowers it down, like, "You're not evil. Come with us." Like that's what it was given to me. And like Ali is like, "Girl, if you don't get out of here, I'm gonna kick your ass." And so like literally the freaking Sentinels go after her and she gives them a little 1-2 and then she puts everybody to sleep. And then she kidnaps Ollie from the freaking squid drill. They destroy the squid drill and that's it. Back at the ranch, everybody's arguing because it's like, oh my gosh, like the world is doomed. Oh my gosh, like we're back in this war again. Oh no, what do we do? And Amelia has freaking Solon screaming at everybody, and everybody's like, oh, let me shut the fuck up. And Amelia takes charge and is like, hey guys, we need to think with our heads. We need to organize everything. Like, we got this. Like, we can do it. Like, this ain't nothing new. We're not new to this. We're true to this. You got freaking Ion in the corner, like, my man is in another freaking universe. I need to save my man. Bring back my man. Like, Ion is fighting for his boyfriend, Zato. Like, it is given, like, I need to save my man. You want to save your man? I want to save my man. Like, damn it. Like, Ion is over here, like, don't play with me. And everybody's like, calm down, Ion. We gonna save Zato. Like, trust us. We're gonna save him. And he's like, don't do us. Zato is black. We know how y'all do black people. You will not sideline him. But then again, like, of course, everybody's like, just chill out. So then, you got freaking Billy over there being like, a new war is starting, guys. We're going to have to work together and all this stuff. And that's how we end. What are y'all thoughts on this episode?
I thought that it was a nice, like introduction episode. I liked, real quick, the opening. I liked that the opening didn't give away spoilers. It reminded me of the first opening for Power Rangers in Space where they just did the cast that we knew in Divatox, like she was still going to be the big bad. I like that. It yeah, like I like the action in there. I like that we got introduced to the new threats, and then there's like kind of like stakes going on. To have the Rangers be maybe not mortally wounded, but like seriously injured. And then we lose Zato. We don't have any idea where the hell he is. And then Ali is taken away from them and is now fighting them. So it's is really it's just a lot going on. And then we got to see Billy reintroduce as well and Mick. So it's there was a lot going on and a lot to like establish where the season's going to go. Lots of chaos. So I enjoyed it. It was like a meaty episode.
I agree. Lena, what do you think?
It was such a good start. It was an action-packed film. Like, it was an action-packed like episode. So much was done. So much was said. And what I really liked is the way that they set up the entire season, where there's so many storyline going on. that if you weren't a fan of this one, there was another storyline for you fall. If you weren't a fan of this one, there was another storyline for you fall. Like it was just like storyline on top of storyline on top of storyline. Like we have not gotten that in forever.
This is true.
In forever. And this is what I call like a real production, a real TV show. Not
I
what
agree.
watching. Like it was so amazing. Like even just us dissecting this today, I'm like, wait, crap. That's only the one episode.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. So much was done and said, and yet it held our. Oh my god! It captivated us. It held our attention. It got us like holding our breath. It got us like going on an emotional roller coaster ride. And I will say this, and I've said this in the past before we were able to talk about this. This season has sent me on a roller coaster ride, up and down, sideways, backwards, like drop zone vibe. Like it's been like this. I know this episode really sets it up for the entire season. Like hands down.
Yeah, it did.
Like hands down. So like, if I could give it a rating, I would personally give it 5 out of 5.
Oh wow. Because that's what I was going to ask next. Like, what do you guys rate it? Like, so 5 out of 5. Okay.
For me, it wasn't perfect. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
How dare you? This is the best like episode yet.
Well, yeah. I think it's so cool how through the 3 seasons that we've had, it's like the quality is just going up with each season. So
Yeah.
I did really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I too, as well. I'm sorry, Lena. I have to agree with Will. I will say also it's a 4 out of 5, but not because they did anything wrong. Um, like it was actually a great opening. Like honestly, for it being a an extra season that wasn't technically supposed to happen, but they gave it to us anyway, and trying to figure out how in the hell can we continue this story for it being the way for them doing what they did. I thought that it was actually really good. Especially with, like I said, with the characters that they created and the way that they did everything that they did in terms of like turning Ollie evil again and creating these 2 new characters who literally, like I said, paint you real world people. Like they are literally real world people. Kris Jenner and Gen Z people. Like they are literally like real people in real life. Um and then you also have like all of these different storylines that are going on. And I know one thing that fans were definitely, not using their imagination on, being like, well, they already wrapped up everybody's storyline, so they have nothing to tell. Cosmic Fury basically said, hold my beer, and proved them wrong. Because they were able to give us more on top of the characters that we already knew. I mean, honestly, in recent years, this is the most we've had fleshed out on any of our Ranger heroes in years. Like, let's just be honest. Like, we haven't had this much character development in a Ranger team in a very long time,
Ever.
especially since Power Rangers brought it back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like since Saban brought Power Rangers back with the Neo Saban era, we have not had nearly as much detailed storyline and storytelling as we have gotten in Cosmic Fury. And that's just in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
We have not had that many complex characters, that many interesting characters, like that many characters with actual like driven storylines. Like we've not had that before. So Cosmic Fury kind of feels like something that like we've never seen before, like literally, because when you think of Power Rangers, especially Power Rangers now, you know, the Neo Saban era and even the beginning of the Hasbro era, like it was giving real, very standard, very monster of the day-ish, very I'm here to take over the world. Like that's just what it was giving. It wasn't giving anything complex. It wasn't giving you too much at all. But Dino Fury and now Cosmic Fury, they found a way to make these characters even more compelling in such a short period of time. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I have to give credit where credit is due. The only reason why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 is because of very minor things. Like, I mean, and it's not, like I said, it's not even a thing of like, I didn't like it. Like, I loved the episode. Like, I loved everything they did. I'm only giving it a 4 out of 5 because, like Will said, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the most perfect thing that we've ever seen. But at the same time, with what they were able to do, it was probably one of the best setups that we've ever gotten. Mm-hmm. It was one of the best setups to a season that we've ever gotten. So I would just say if they were to tweak certain things, like the main things that to me needed to be tweaked was the thing with Hobby Zorn. That was like the main thing, you know? But other than that, like everything they did, I thought was phenomenal. I thought it was great. So for me, that's why I give it a 4 out of 5, but not because I hated anything. I thought it was great. That is our review on Power Rangers. Oh gosh, I was about to call it Mystic Force. Oh my goodness. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Oh my goodness. I would never. I would never review Mystic Force. What am I talking about?
No, absolutely not.
Never do that. So yes, if you guys enjoyed our review or also, you know, you enjoyed our banter about what you've heard tonight, please continue to support, continue to like, follow, subscribe. We definitely want to hear your opinions. We want to hear your opinions on everything we talked about tonight, whether that was, you know, we talked about earlier with, you know, dealing with, you know, being a buyer and a seller, or y'all want to talk about Cosmic Fury? Doesn't matter. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be talking about Cosmic Fury for the next probably like 10 weeks, because it's 10 episodes in total. So
yep. I mean, we're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about Cosmic Fury for a hot little minute. So definitely buckle up, relax, and enjoy the show. And yeah, we're gonna catch you guys next time. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.